This is for the Fear Street Trilogy, which was released on Netflix in 2021. Now, to be honest, when I started watching these movies, I had no plans on making a video about it. Truth be told, I am not a big horror slasher movie guy. But Halloween week, I was in the mood for something a little spooky. And I remember when these came out a few years ago, I was interested in them. They looked interesting, but again, that genre is not really my thing, so I never checked it out. I'm happy to say I liked it enough that it made me want to do a video about it. Now, I keep saying it instead of them. The reason why is Netflix did release all 3 movies at once, so to me, it's more of a long series than 3 separate movies. I mean, they really follow each other directly, so I'm just going to refer to them really as the trilogy as a whole. The trilogy is about a cursed town, and the stories are pulled from a series of books by R.L. Stine. That didn't really mean anything to me, but it may mean something to you watching. It's the same author that did all the Goosebumps books that we grew up reading. And again, the story follows a group of kids in this cursed town. The first movie takes place in 1994, the second one in 1978, and the third movie brings us all the way back to 1666 to learn about the origins of this curse. There isn't really any notable cast members to talk about for these. Maya Hawke is in the very beginning of the first one, and Sadie Sink is in the second one, as well as parts of the others. You're probably thinking, oh, those are both Stranger Things actresses. Yes, they are, and it's actually ironic because as I was watching this trilogy, I thought to myself, man, this is pretty much R-rated Stranger Things. That's like how I would describe this. So it's funny that they had a bunch of actors from Stranger Things in it as well. So why do I say it's similar to Stranger Things to begin with? Really, that just comes from each movie is focusing on a group of kids going on missions, going on adventures together. No parents to be heard or spoken from for the most part. The difference is that in Stranger Things, it's more of a demon, alien type villains or monsters, and in this one, it's more the classic slasher film type villains. The R rating comp really just comes from there are some brutal deaths in these movies. I'm talking straight blood and gore to the highest degree. And one girl even gets her head sent through a meat grinder. So yes, R-rated Stranger Things. Real quick, if you liked the Fear Street Trilogy like I did, or if this video is making you interested in checking it out, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more content. I would really appreciate it. Alright, back to the video. I think the main reason why I really like this trilogy, despite it not being in a genre I watch much from, is I am a big history guy, and I've always been a sucker for a bunch of stories throughout a timeline that happen in the same place. I watched this back-to-back nights. I was always looking forward to watching the next night to see, oh, I can't wait to see what happened at this place in this different year. Another thing that I really liked and appreciated about the trilogy is each part is really its own version or take on movies that we grew up with. So for instance, part 1 is kind of like a Scream movie. Part 2 is very similar to a Friday the 13th movie. And then part 3 was actually really similar to The Crucible. Obviously 1666, we're dealing with witches, the Salem witch trials, it makes sense. I think that may actually be the first time I mentioned witches throughout this whole thing somehow. So yes, the curse has to do with kind of its own version of the Salem witch trials back in 1666. Overall, for me, the trilogy, I'm happy to say it's a solid B. Again, I thought it was really well done, especially for a completely unknown cast. The writing was solid. Everything looked good. You could tell they actually filmed on sets. I was impressed. Netflix, even though this was 2 years ago, Netflix has been hitting with the quality of their shows and movies lately, I'm not going to lie. Again, solid B for me. Just keep in mind before you watch this with your kids or family or something, that the R rating is a hard R. Not so much for language, but there is a little bit of sex in there, and then also the deaths are absolutely brutal, like I said. Like, your kids will definitely have nightmares about these movies. I want to thank you guys for watching my For the First Time video. Be sure to check out some of my other ones, and I will see you guys next time and in the comments. Thanks again. Peace.